And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, with the next series coming up soon. It is going to be SortOf versus NightEnD. Some Neurosofts coming out again.
Another ZVP, of course. You just saw NightEnD close up the series versus...
Come on.
I'm so terrible at names, man.
He's the teacher.
Guru,
oh, there we go,
yeah, that's right. You know, like,
the teacher, the guru, the master.
The master.
Exactly. But yes, we are right now seeing the vetoes coming down from NightEnD and SortOf. So in just a minute or so, we're jumping into the lobby.
That's going to be pretty sick, man. You know, EU qualifiers, so fun to just, you know, be able to work with all of this. We've had one EU, two EU. This is the second EU. We've had an American one, had two Korean ones, and you know, remaining after this, we're going to have the last and final NA qualifier for the Kung Fu Cup and the Southeast Asia / Oceanic region qualifier.
You're doing that with someone else, right?
Yeah, I'm actually. You are going to be away on a ski trip.
I'm going to be away. Do you know who he's doing with yet?
Yeah, I've got it confirmed now.
Is it confirmed?
It is confirmed.
All right.
So,
guys, who's going to be my successor?
Guys, I will be casting the Southeast Asia qualifier together with Tempo.
Oh, Tempo.
All of you guys,
Mr. Grandmaster.
Yeah, that's the guy, you know, behind that song, and many others. So, of course, you can tweet at him and you know, let him show him some love.
Yeah, show him some love.
He's made a lot of funny songs. I think
really awesome, and
really
he's worked
funny.
with Anna Prosser.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
She's the
like Swarm. I can't remember the Zerg song. Well, anyhow, you can go into Tempo with a 0 on YouTube and check him out. Really cool songs. I think a lot of people in StarCraft already listen to them.
Everyone knows him. Like,
probably just about everyone, but if you haven't for some weird reason, go and check him out. Really cool guy.
Most definitely, yeah. He's a bro. Really friendly, really nice. So we haven't talked too much, really. But, you know, we sat down, chatted a bit, you know, had to get to know each other, because that's a big part of casting, you know, want to be making sure the chemistry is working. And, you know, right away, this guy just really friendly, so seems really cool, man. I'm very excited to cast that with him, but I'm equally as excited to be casting this with you.
Oh, you're just saying that.
You know, yeah, I'm just saying it.
Yeah, I know. You actually hate me.
Nah, man, I love you to bits.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're like the taller, whiter little brother that I never had.
That's pretty much true.
It's actually a lie. I have a taller, whiter little brother.
No, he's not. Yeah, he's taller than you, but not me.
He is taller.
No one's taller than me.
That's true. You're
no one's
probably
taller
one
than
of the tallest people I've met.
I'm 6'5", man.
You're 6'5".
I'm 6'5". Exactly.
That's insane.
On the inch, yeah.
I'm 5'7".
5'7". Yes. No, but okay. It looks like SortOf is already. So
nice. So we're counting down.
We're counting down
to jump into this next game. It's ZVP. Once again, it's probably one of my favorite matchups.
Yeah,
ZVP,
it might
PvZ,
look like,
PvT, probably the ones I enjoy the most.
It might look like we were actually cherry-picking what series we're taking. Like, I'm just saying it like, yeah, we're kind of fan of the ZVP, but we actually were planning on taking Naniwa, who's confirmed playing right now.
He's actually in-game right now.
He's in-game right now, but he wasn't available, and we didn't want to keep you guys for 10, 15 more minutes.
Guys, maybe it's worth a wait, but we'll have to see. We're jumping into this game, and here we have our first player. Still, for Neurosoft, he is NightEnD. And his opponent, hailing from Sweden itself, he is the Red Zerg in the north, and he is SortOf.
That is a wonderful picture, but that's not SortOf though.
Oh, who's that?
That's Forsen. I think it is, because I was doing the observing over at eSport SM, and SortOf was actually playing. He went down tomorrow. If you guys are interested, it's the Swedish Championships. If you're Swedish, you can check it out. But I'm not going to be playing that all too much. I just want to say that Madlisk was casting it together with Ender, and they were talking about how that was Forsen, and there was a kind of inside joke since a long time ago. So I believe that. I haven't seen Forsen stream though. It's pretty popular.
Doesn't he play like Hearthstone?
I think so. I don't think he's playing StarCraft anymore. I don't know, he kind of dropped off after some time.
So many people just dropping off.
Yeah.
But of course, that means more room for us. Legacy of the Void, coming out soon, at least in beta.
That's going to be so amazing.
Closed beta? I don't know. Yeah, man, I'm so excited for Legacy of the Void.
Have you heard about the files?
The what?
The files?
Oh yeah,
in the launcher.
Yeah, they're already there. Like
they've added the
the
files for having a beta or an alpha of Legacy of the Void in the launcher, and people going crazy over it and Reddit about it. So it's going to be great to see if it comes out soon. And of course, the winner of the TL Team Liquid, that is, map contest. Of course, it's going to work with Blizzard to make a ladder map as well. So a lot of things happening right now in the StarCraft scene.
Yeah, it's very fun, of course, to see so many people, engaged in what's going on and stuff like that. But NightEnD once again, man. Let's just sort of slow down for a second. He's going for the Nexus first. No, I'm lying there. He actually goes for gate first.
Why
into Nexus, and then he decides to go for double gas and a cyber. So a bit more economical type of gateway expand. Does cut a few corners though, so you can die to temple speed or something like that. But he feels comfortable versus SortOf like this, and SortOf did go for 3 hatch before pool into a gas.
Yeah, I like that he's getting the gas. Let's see, did NightEnD actually see that? I think he should have, but I just want to make sure for 100%. Yes, just about! This is a very important scout, of course, because when you see this coming out, the gas, of course, you know that you won't see SortOf crank out as many workers as he should have, and things like, let's say, 8 gates, 5 gates, and similar builds aren't just as effective, because you still see a very nice timed out speed coming out from SortOf. It's going to be later by maybe a minute or so, but not much more than that.
And for now, NightEnD grabbing the double gas, 3 in each, going to be able to go for whatever attack he really wants, starting to chrono some probes. So to be honest, with the way that both of our players have opened, not too much is going to be happening in the next 3 or 4 minutes or so, unless we suddenly see NightEnD stop at 8 probes on minerals in the natural, add another 6 gateways, and just go 7 gate all in really quickly. Well, there we go. I have to keep fixing my microphone. I'm terrible at that, man. Like,
I don't know why, but mine always keep working.
No, it's just your placement. Your microphone placement is absolutely perfect.
Yeah, that's
well, mine is terrible.
It's about going into it and just keep practicing your placement of your microphone, just as with your wall-off with your Protoss, of course. Just the same way.
It's actually true.
Yeah, like the first times you misplace the pattern, you lose a few games and you get really sour, but
and then you slowly start learning. And it's a lot of me misplacing my microphone, or losing a few jobs.
I actually just checked the Korean VODs when they put on the microphones.
It's like what angle they're on.
Oh yeah, and I just steal that build. It is absolutely fabulous,
Okay, but we see NightEnD. He's dropped down the forge, adding a few additional gates. We'll have to see, if we see a robo or not. If he wants to be going into 3-base blink kind of style, because he's already starting that +1. No Twilight or Robo yet, really. No real tech, but he's got a good number of sentries going. Got a 4th on the way as well, so wants to take a 3rd base. Can absolutely go ahead. Meanwhile, the additional gas taken, so I think it's going to be a 3rd base coming up here out of our Protoss player.
And, well, SortOf scouts a bit of this. He sees this 2nd gate, and he has seen 1 extra gas, so he wants to make sure there's a 4th gas. We did see earlier that Blinkstock all-in off of 3 gases yesterday in the Korean qualifiers.
And it worked wonders, man.
Who was that? Was that Sora again?
Yeah, that was Sora on Overgrowth.
Sora's doing a lot of pressure builds.
Sora's playing so well, dude. Like, I really underestimated this guy, so I was positively surprised watching him play. But there's a 3rd base from NightEnD. Come on, man. Make a Twilight Council. Get that +3 or +2.
+3, well,
like
you're thinking ahead.
You skip an upgrade, and
it's like World War Z when you just skip all the World Wars and just go Z right away. Have you seen that?
World War A, World War B, World
War
like
C. 1, 2, 3, yeah.
But so there's the Twilight Council, and 1-1 started here for SortOf. Goes for the melee upgrade. This with this layer as well. Is this gonna set him up to go into Ultralisk Super Late game?
It does really, yeah. It does.
I mean, I imagine it's really fluent, that sort of transition.
It is. What you can do is you can go to a ton of links and into Ultras. We saw this. It's a very old style which came just about as soon as we had the first big event after Heart of the Swarm came out, which was the DreamHack Open Stockholm, which was in spring 2013. We saw this from Lenok, actually. He was the one who created the build just about. If we see just about the same style, which is very old school, it should be 1-1 coming out. We should see, the lag coming out here. Then Infestation Pit, 2-2, Hive, into Ultras. And, the Ro32 is just to back it up.
Safety precaution in case he sees a move out with gateways or something like that. But SortOf decided to grab that 4th base now, and of course the Ultra build doing that on 3 base, man, it's sort of unstable, because you can do half a push with their composition, and then it generally just dies off. So you really need to have a strong economy. Ultralisk army is extremely expensive. I mean, you would know this.
Oh yeah. I faced your Nimbus.
Oh, we
with
played a
Ultras,
sick game on that, I remember.
And you had Blinkstalkers, you bastard.
And you only had 3 base, and you died.
I died.
So,
I ever try to say that.
Yeah, we've been there.
But it's because I taught you the build just before I was about to use it. That's so stupid of me.
Man, you should really keep them secret. But now look at this. The third base here, coming under some pressure, or a little bit of a harassment from SortOf. There is a Stalker blocking off. There we have the Robo being added in here, by the way, for NightEnD. Will force a warp in defensively back at home. But he managed to get the cancel on the 4th, which is very important. We did, by the way, see the infestation pit go down for SortOf, so it was actually him looking to go into that hive rather quickly, but that's not going to happen now that he sees this big attack happening. Oh, never mind, I take that back. He's going to go for that underpathogen glands.
This is very smart because he sees this is going to be three base blink. What he does is that he's still going for the hive. I thought he would skip it out after seeing what he's facing. But the most important part here is the pathogen glands. And why that is because we are going to see Infestors coming out with a massive swell of links. And, well, what you do is you wrap around the Stalkers, fungal growth them, and they go down like nothing.
Oh yeah, they melt so quickly. Fungal still actually does decent damage. 36 damage in total, and then of
links do
the
decent as well, of course.
Zerglings, man, especially with that 2-2, going to be really powerful. And then once you have the hive, you will see them get upgraded into cracklings with those adrenal glands getting faster attack speed. Once again, though, sort of swinging with Zerglings into the third base here of NightEnD is going to pick off this Robo. And while only 2 Zerglings survived to tell the tale, it's a very good pick off here. And NightEnD, man, this is the 3rd time he's building robotics, so he's just going to say, you know what, screw it, and go double Robo right off the bat. I think he's sort of anticipating this composition because he's seen the quick hive out of SortOf and no Hydra then, so it's not going to be Roach, Hydra, Viper. So I think this is like the only viable composition really available for SortOf, but now NightEnD needs to be very careful. Good fungal there, traps a lot of those units and forces a recall right away there out of NightEnD.
What I like about this style as well that we do see from SortOf is that it's very good at defending. We see right now NightEnD trying to shut down the base at the left-hand side, but there's not too much you can do at that point. We see SortOf with a brilliant surround, getting a lot of these Stalkers. At the same time, he's just running across the map. He's going to get into Ultra's Cavern, and as NightEnD for the finally, you know, getting up to Colossi, we already see Ultra's Cavern begun. Colossi do close to nothing against this.
I mean, you know, generally, but if you get up those highest numbers, we see like 4, 5, 6 Colossi with the +3. They actually do damage to everything. Like, you know, anything on the ground really melts
until Chitinous Plating, and then nothing to damage again.
Chitinous Plating is actually an insane upgrade.
Yeah.
Gives you +3 additional armor for those ultras. So the best response, +2, I mean actually, so sort of mixing up the numbers there for a second. But of course, +3 weapons really good, and we already see that Immortal production coming out of NightEnD. And Immortals, as you guys know, to anyone like misinformed, do 65 damage a hit with +3 weapons versus armored units. And Ultralisks, man, last time I checked, they look pretty armored.
They are very, very armored.
Heavily armored. You know, like they're like the knights of StarCraft 2.
They are kind of. They have no white horses beneath them, but they are the horses and the knights.
Yeah, like sort of morphed into one.
Yeah. Oh, that's Abatha, you know, mixing up some hybrids.
Abatha combining.
Yeah. He looked at the Terran lore and he found like
way back, like so many years ago.
Let's mix this with a queen.
Yeah, like they take a man in armor, a marine, because I mean he's technically they're like space knights.
A marine on a Hellion combined with a queen. That's what you have.
That's what you get
with big like glaives on them.
A space knight. They actually have knights in Warhammer 40k, like what are they called? Grey Knights.
I actually don't know.
You haven't been into Warhammer, man. Such a good...
Not enough.
I love the tabletop.
I only did some Eldar.
I used to do that when I was
But you know what? NightEnD is pushing enough with Warhammer.
Yeah, this is true. But I mean, he's sort of bringing his Warhammer, and he's looking to smash it across SortOf's face. We'll have to see, though. Will he be able to? Because SortOf is going to have a pretty good army.
Yeah, the 3-3 is not going to be done in time. Chitinous Plating is, though, and a few Ultras are out. So, with good fungals, this army could absolutely die instantaneously. And remember, that's still only 2... Immortals. They do tons of damage, but Queens are here to inject a bit at least. 8 Queens in total, so it should be quite a few injects.
He's added Vipers to this as well, man. And, you know, sometimes
Or you can actually, instead of taking out the Colossus, you take out the Immortals.
Exactly.
And the Archons.
Yes, like the big hitters versus Ultralisk-based armies are actually the Archons and Immortals. The Archons will tank and do a lot of damage versus anything biological, really, and the Immortals just shred Ultras. But now we have a nice drop coming out of NightEnD here, and of course he has the +3 versus +2 armor, so we can see him two-shotting those Zerglings with the well-upgraded Zealots. An Ultralisk pops. Doesn't really realise, you know, that I have to help out.
He wants a more important fight. He doesn't want to deal with the skirmishes.
SortOf, by the way, added in 4 or 5 Mutalisks to deal with his War Prism. I really like that.
Oh, and even using Banelings. This is very nice.
He's getting like a little of everything to complement this big army.
Yeah, he gets the main composition, a very straightforward one. But as you say, adds in a few Banelings to deal with the ground Zealots. But also those Mutas, very important they point out, because that makes it just that much more difficult to actually drop SortOf now. And it's a very decent way to deal with what SortOf doing. But NightEnD now pushing the right hand side.
And meanwhile on the left hand side we have SortOf going for the counter attack, so might actually see a base trade. Not a full base trade, of course, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, 1 for 1. And this is a really nice pick-off here for SortOf, because, I mean, he's still going to retain that 4th base on the left, even though he gives up his gold. But he needs to be careful, because right now, NightEnD is pushing across. And we have a big swell of Zealots trying to push their way up into the ramp, it looks like. And yeah, that is how it is. But a lot of Banelings in pursuit. We'll be able to knock this down eventually.
At the same time, NightEnD knows that SortOf is busy in his main, so he goes ahead and pushes the middle. As SortOf getting more and more Ultras, he's actually in a pretty decent position right now. We see only 3 sorry, he's getting Ultras. Yeah, we see 3 Immortals from NightEnD. So with the wait, where is the Viper you talked about?
Oh, they were right there above the Infestors. To the left of you, buddy.
Wait, I can't find it. Are there too many units on the map to find? Oh, there they are. Okay.
There we go.
Look at the unit tabs. There are too many. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'm just blind.
Yeah, man. You know what? I got you covered.
Yeah, my glasses aren't working.
They're not working. They're broken. He only has 2. So that's going to be 4 Reducts. Still nice. You know, if you can catch 4 Immortals, very important number, really. So it's going to come down to how does he manage with those Vipers. Still a single Mutalisk. Man, it's really cute to see SortOf just have one of everything. I'll have to see how that works out, though. Whoa, 5 Archons with +3 attack. Going to be very scary for SortOf to deal with. And now NightEnD actually sending a handful of Blinks, though, because they will be able to pick off 1 Ultralisk. Nice! You know, managing to trap that Ultra. And is going to get the shot down. Whoa, as I say that. A big number of Cracklings swinging in here. And NightEnD trying to position himself as wisely as possible, or as good as possibly. Not going to work out in the end, though.
No, and SortOf, though, has had a lack of aggression from his part. This composition that he's going for has to be extremely aggressive. It has to be pushing constantly, trading bases, trading units. It has to be in your face, but SortOf is desperately trying to get his 5th up, as NightEnD has his 4th up right now. And when a Protoss goes to 4 bases and you get those 8 gases, that's when it really gets scary.
Yeah, man, 8 gas Protoss is absolutely insane. That's when you can go up to 3 Stargates for a transition. And you can, you know, still work with those double robo, a lot of gateways. And NightEnD, with a big mineral bag and a big gas bag, he's just harassing very actively here, just making sure to, so that SortOf cannot expand freely, and he's going to be able to maybe knock down this hatchery. Yeah, so
Banelings,
whoa, he's actually doing a lot of damage. Just goes down in the last second to those 2-3 Zealots.
Well, SortOf now has his queen leaving the creep. Actually, no, okay, that was a misplay. I thought he was actually just going for it, but he has so many queens right now with transfuse. Would like to see a few more, but he needs those, of course, into bangs and links for defense. That supply, that is. Now, SortOf should be pushing across the map. He should not be letting any more units come into the army of NightEnD, because NightEnD right now is just setting up for the perfect count at this point.
Yeah, his composition is absolutely beastly versus that of SortOf. And actually, their armies are a bit spread out here. We have Protoss on the right hand side, SortOf on the left. He's going to be able to swing in and knock down this Nexus. A lot of cannons. Ooh, whoa, the recall
right
goes
into the body
I don't know if this is the wisest of choices, but the Immortals still stay at the back there. It's very scary. As you can see, in combination with these blinding clouds, look at how much damage we see NightEnD suffering here.
Oh, and he actually gets those Immortals as well. They are fungal. They cannot be leaving this place. But SortOf is deterred for now.
Those Archons proving too strong.
Yeah, but of course, remember though, he has the bigger bank, so he's going to max out right away, and he can produce from his his eggs, while NightEnD has to produce both Immortals and Colossi from just 2 robotics facilities.
He lost like 2 or 3 Colossi in that fire, or like 1 or 2. So he's going to make a few additional ones here, adding in more Archons to go with this. I would really like to see a few feedback sort of saved, that he has like 2 or 3 High Templar, banking energy so you can mass feedback all those Queens, because with all that transfused energy, of course, will help to keep those Ultralisks alive, and
of course the Vipers.
Oh yeah, that's true. To make sure that he cannot get abducted. So having a few High Templars with this composition would really just really complement it well.
Yeah, these Vipers are so important as well.
Well, yeah, one more actually.
One more?
So he's up to 3 now.
Oh yeah, and it's so important, of course, because if he doesn't get the hooks really on the Immortals, NightEnD will just roll SortOf over really. But SortOf is going in right now. He's getting ready, and right away NightEnD knows that's some bad news. So he's going to recall, and he's going to get back. But remember now, NightEnD is on 10 gases. That's even worse for SortOf, and
truly is.
SortOf now soon needs to close this game out. I'm thinking of going to Spire, perhaps?
Brood Lords, maybe, because
that'd be a great way to transition.
That's a good point. Not too much. He does shoot up for SortOf. His
both Archons and Immortals are terrible against Broodlings.
Oh yeah, because just the Broodlings block. Had a lot of Stalkers, but ended up trading those away. One thing though that I'm a bit worried here for NightEnD, he does not have those additional Stargates, so a really, really big Mutalisk transition could catch him off guard, because we have that +3 flyer attack being researched right now for SortOf, and look at that bank, man.
Yeah, he has a really big bank. He might just want to trade everything. Remember though, he wants to trade as far away from his main as possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because otherwise, SortOf might just kill him before... Sorry, NightEnD might just kill him before he has time to replenish everything. NightEnD is just pushing into this, SortOf using a big part of his army on the right-hand side to trade bases, but SortOf is going into it. He's going to try to fungal everything. Nice Blinding Cloud as well, but NightEnD is still doing so much damage with these Immortals.
Yeah, man, look at how easily they just go to town on those Ultralisks, like a hot knife through butter, really. The base on the right-hand side falls here in the center of the map, and we're going to see NightEnD push on through. 9 more Ultralisks in production right now for SortOf. This army, though, so strong on the ground.
SortOf did get the right-hand side base, but 13 Ultras on the way, Tenshi! This is so many! At the same time, though, on the left-hand side, NightEnD is doing a great job. The only issue I have right now for NightEnD is that he's not maxing out quickly enough. Big
Fungal does go down on most of that army. Those Storms not going to do anything versus those Ultralisk, and that's really bad because there was no recall available, which means that this entire Protoss army is virtually trapped. And even though he manages to pick off these last Ultralisks to retain some of his units, will it be enough? Because we see more Ultralisks streaming in here right now for SortOf, and I think it's going to be enough to clean this up. More reinforcing Blinkstalkers do come in though, and a few Immortals, but they're going to be losing those Hardened Shields very quickly. But still, man, the damage has been done.
Yeah, so much damage from those Immortals, just shutting down the Ultras play from SortOf. But remember though, that Mutalisk transition that you talked about, SortOf now showing a few meters right away. He's going to try to transition into something that NightEnD really can't respond to. We see Archons on the way though, and Archons of course really good against Mutas, especially with the +3 and +3.
I mean, Archons are like always good versus though, because even your buildings are biological. Now we have cannon support to help out in this fight. That's really nice actually for NightEnD. It's going to buy some time, because I mean, there's not too much here for the Protoss, and that's going to be good games. So that means SortOf will be taking the first game in our series, opening up the series with a great first game.
Yeah, he didn't really have sufficient army to hold both Mutas and Ultras.
He was really playing it risky, like extending very far to creep without that recall. And even though he managed to kill a lot of those Ultras initially, we had them like more streaming in, supported by Mutalisks and a handful of Zerglings.
Oh yeah.
So he couldn't retreat, and he ended up losing most of his power units, which are those Immortals and Archons and Colossi, and sort of just crippled from there. But still, great first game.
Yeah. I like how he says sort of kind of crippled over that, because SortOf is his name as well. I love when the players
like
do
names.
that. Yeah, so annoying when they have a name. Like True,
Rain,
for instance.
Rain making it rain.
Yeah, True. Dead Pixels True. It's so
That's
difficult.
true.
Thank you. So many puns.
So many puns, man. Like, I love it. It's okay.
You're so punny.
StarCraft. Oh, am I punny?
Yeah, you're kind of punny.
You sure?
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not.
Yeah, you're punny.
I'm a bit funny,
You're
but
punny.
I'm not punny.
You're funny and punny.
So
You're funny with PH.
I can rhyme. I can rhyme as well.
You can rhyme.
You know,
let's do a bit of rap.
No, I can't rap.
Can you rap?
I can't rap, but I was sick at rhyming when I went to nursery school.
You're sick of rhyming?
Yeah, when I was like 5.
What? I have no idea how you even remember that.
Now, anyway, we have, of course, a game coming up here. It is between NightEnD and SortOf. More ZVP, great matchup, lots of action, and what map are we going to be running this second game on?
We are going to run it on Overgrowth. And
man, it's always these same maps, right? Most played maps.
Expedition Lost was actually played recently.
That's true.
I was actually a bit shocked when I saw that.
That was Guru versus NightEnD.
I think the least picked one is Inferno Pools.
Secret Spring as well.
And Secret Spring. I think Secret Spring is a bit more. Inferno Pools is
We'll
the
have
least.
like 1 or 2 more games.
Exactly. Then like Inferno Pools is the worst. Secret Spring, not like when it comes to balance. I'm just talking in picks.
Yeah.
I'm not calling out any balance here.
People aren't really liking Inferno Pools, but like most played maps, probably like Overgrowth,
Deadwing, and
Catalina.
Yeah, Catalina as well. Vani, quite a bit as well.
Yeah, so
those are the 4.
I'm going to probably say, Vani, Deadwing, and Overgrowth. But we are loading in, and
I had to think for a second.
As you can see here, score is 1-0 right now to our Zug player.
And well, that means that NightEnD is going to have to try a little harder this time.
That is true. Now we are going to be jumping into our next match. And we have him here playing for Neurosoft, the blue Protoss in the bottom left corner. He is NightEnD. And his opponent spawning here in the top right, playing Zerg, wearing the color red. He is SortOf.
The look on Forsen's face, man.
I think it's really funny with the custom icons.
I really like it.
I've seen like some really funny ones, or like just like random people making really funny faces. There was this one guy who had like a picture of him, like his dad and his dog, and so you can put all sorts of weird stuff on there.
I've seen like troll faces as well.
Yeah, so have I.
It's pretty funny, but SortOf. Let's see what he's going to do this game, because right now I want to get into the head of SortOf here. We saw him play against Moro in the eSport SM.
Oh yeah.
He's the kind of player I feel who is very, very confident as well, as long as it goes well. But the way I saw him then, he was really shaken as soon as things didn't go his things didn't go his way, right? So we saw him, for instance. Drop a game or 2 versus Moro in a row in a best of 5, and right away he started like really getting shaking up, missing details, and really getting nervous. Overall, you could see on him when he was playing. So I feel if NightEnD can take this game with a straight up, either like a hardcore all-in that catches him completely off guard,
very straight up victory,
that really shocks him, or just a macro win where SortOf has no chance, then I feel the third game will be considerably worse for him, perhaps.
We'll have to see.
This is not land setting though.
No, it's true. That's true. So you have the comfort of playing from your home. There's a lot more pressure really when you're playing in front of a crowd, like a live crowd. You
can have your slippers on, like if you're home.
like you can dress however you want. Don't need to fix your hair.
You can have a bathrobe on or anything.
Like you can be any way you want really.
Yeah, you can have someone behind you like giving you a massage at the same time, so you're relaxed.
Maybe that wouldn't work. I think that's going a bit too far.
That'd be so sick though.
Very comfortable.
It'd be very
comfortable, but not very optimal when playing a game like StarCraft 2.
Yeah, it's a mech game where you have swarm hosts, you like relax, lean back.
When you start reaching that 2-hour mark, you go in like make dinner.
Yeah, you go make dinner, get some burgers.
Get some burgers, man. Burgers are good.
But well, NightEnD scouts in, sees that this is going to be a pull first into hatchery.
Hasn't seen any gas either coming out of SortOf, so it's going to be comfortable expanding like this, knowing that not too much can happen. But of course, Guru did pull out that 3 hatch into mass slow ling attempt, so he's a bit scared. Does chrono out the first zealot.
Yeah, we see a third base, no gas coming out for SortOf, so this is a pull first into double hatch. Okay, this time we're going to check the production tab for any links, okay? This is what we're going to do this time. We don't want to miss like 30 links being made, but okay, SortOf is still getting away with a lot of greed, and this of course will be moving on into a Mothership Core and a Stalker, so without speed and without a lot of links, with this heavy droning and a very early third, the lack of queens, the lack of speed, and the lack of links will make it quite difficult to deal with what NightEnD is doing without taking any damage.
Can of course, you know, make a move out as well. Like put some pressure on, light pressure, add a few gateways.
Oh, you're talking about NightEnD, yeah.
Oh yeah,
exactly.
you know, like with the initial Zealot and Stalker Mothership core.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes
that's what I was saying. Like, you know, SortOf will have a really hard time dealing with that.
Oh yeah,
because of the lack of everything really at this point. Might even force a lot of links.
Yeah, and that's the thing. You know, you can go out like that, shock a few units, and then go back home, grab a third base, and just make sure to defend it. Grab a couple of sentries. But it's going to be Stargate nonetheless from NightEnD. We'll have to see if he decides to go into the Oracle or the Phoenix first. We've generally seen more of a trend of Oracle openings in PvZ like this when you go for a Stargate. Not a lot of Phoenix play, really.
Well, NightEnD pushes across the map with that Stalker, Zealot, and Mothership core.
We'll see how many units he gets out from this.
SortOf is making more links, which it wouldn't be otherwise, so he's going up to 6. You want to force about 4 to 6 more links, at least with this push out. Otherwise, it wasn't really worth getting the Stalker and everything. At least, yeah.
Like Stalker, of course. Has a bit of utility. You can like get an overload if you're lucky. So it has a lot of flexibility with that one Stalker.
Just remember that SortOf will get away with a lot of drones if no damage is done.
Yeah, that is true. And as we can see here, with these queens, going to even force a recall, which means no photon overcharge.
That was a very nice hold by SortOf, I have to say. It didn't force any more links whatsoever.
Like, how many did he make? Like additionally 4, 6. So he's got like 12 Zerglings.
Yeah, he
not
lost
many
one ling actually.
That's all he lost.
I believe so.
That's nothing.
Actually, never mind.
7 lings though.
Wait, did he lose 7 lings right away there?
Did he?
Did he?
He lost a.
That wasn't 7 lings.
No.
No, he must have sent them.
Yeah, sent them across the map.
Across the map, yeah, I feel so. That was not 7 lings he lost. SortOf, you're not losing that much. Okay, so NightEnD responding to what SortOf is doing again with an Oracle. And it did work very well against Guru. This time, though, we don't see all too many Spore Crawlers, at least not in the third base. We see one in the main, one in the natural. Third base, though, no Oracle, but 2 Queens.
That's 2 Queens deal very well with an Oracle, of course. Like 1-on-1, an Oracle will win. 2v1, nah, that's not gonna happen. So he's gonna swing in here, see these 2 Queens, not even gonna try to go for a drone pick. Very wise. Behind this NightEnD, going to grab that third base. SortOf does see this going down, so he knows exactly what's going on.
SortOf does go into the Roach Warren and gets a +1, so it looks like standard Roach play from him. The land was at a very nice timing, so his speed, rather, won't be that late either. We see pretty good creep spread as well, I have to say. I have to give it to SortOf, having to deal with that early push and everything and getting such early third. You would expect him to not have, you know, complete coverage, but he's you know, getting his bases together, connected with creep. He's spraying forward right now, and soon enough we're going to see that really nice creep spread forward if he decides to use that 4th queen for just creep.
Yeah, you know, like we often see Zergs dedicating a queen or 2 to only creep spread. But now you have the Infestation Pit and Hydra Den going down, 4th also being added in here for SortOf.
And well, with Infestation Pit and Hydra Den this quickly, we could see a very, very quick hive go down for what you'd call Viper push. Or you could see him just going to like a few Hydras if he stops right now and goes into Swarm Host. And beautiful revelation from NightEnD.
Sees everything.
He knows this is not Swarm Host, this is a Hive play. Let's get Templars. That's all he needs to know.
He's got the Twilight Council almost finishing up here. It's almost done. So very nice. We'll be able to get any sort of response really to whatever SortOf can do in terms of compositions. So NightEnD has to be very comfortable. He's got the 6 gas now. He's going to go for a little move out. Maybe just clean up some creep. Try to go for a denial on this 4th. Of course, it's very hard to get up there because, you know, it's very deep in Zerg territory.
NightEnD is not getting any Templar Archives yet.
It goes for the +2 and blink right away.
So he might just try to hit the timing before you'll see any kind of Vipers whatsoever. And of course, the first Viper won't do too much because he needs to use Consume.
One thing though to point out is the Hydralisks without blink going to be very, very hard for NightEnD to take a good fight here, and SortOf, you know, he knows what's up, so he might just see that recall coming out of NightEnD. Needs to be very careful because all of these units you have very frail indeed.
Cruise Spine's done as well, so Force Fields would be effective, but not as effective as if they didn't have that. And of course you have to watch out because that Monster Core can get killed if you're not quick enough. Yeah,
so that's a recall coming out of NightEnD, playing it safe. Would have been terrible, you know, if his army got caught. They would have actually just outright ended the game. But
he goes into Robe Bay after seeing this quick of a hive, I am very worried right now for NightEnD, because going to Colossus against Vipers.
Yeah, he's actually not even going to have them in time for when the push comes. Of course, SortOf has to use Consume, grab some of that Viper energy for himself. But still, there's going to be like 1 or 2 Colossi, 2 at best without range out here for NightEnD. So he's not going to have that sufficient splash damage that he needs to deal with this kind of army that we see out of SortOf.
SortOf actually, I think he forgot or like did a more misplay here, not having us, what is that, like 8th gas in his 4th base. Because you can see right now how much minerals he's stacking up. That's almost as if he would just wants to mass out roaches. So if he wants to not make that gas for some time now, it's going to be pure roachling almost coming out just to max out, and very few hiders from this point on, since he won't be able to afford them. So I think just one big push right now, no more hiders behind it almost.
Yeah, it does look like it in terms of composition here from SortOf. NightEnD playing it very carefully, but needs to be careful because the wraparound from SortOf might happen. Does have that recall. We'll have to see. Whoa, big wall of force fields is going to go down here, but still a few units can trickle through, and that means NightEnD has to get out of there, because it would have been a massive surround coming out there.
That would have been so scary.
Oh yeah, definitely. So, you know, like we saw, NightEnD decides to tap out. He does have a single Colossus outside of the natural.
Has to watch out though, you don't want to have it in the front like this, and the Vipers coming in, very easy Colossus to pick off here, gets it right away, nice blinding clouds coming down from SortOf, and well, NightEnD just running with the tail between his legs to his 3rd base, as SortOf just cleaning up more and more Stalkers.
Yeah, even gets that mothership core. A few force fields going down there, you know, actually slowing down the advance here of NightEnD a little bit, and sort of slowly inching his way forward, keeping NightEnD sort of trapped here in his 3rd base while he has a few units doing damage in the natural. But it's actually very easy for SortOf to overextend here, because over that blink and +2, he needs to be a bit careful. But still, he's broken down the front in the natural, and still, SortOf is... Oh, NightEnD is trapped, rather, towards that 3rd base of his.
You could even get this Colossus as soon as he gets vision of it. Should just pull it in right away. There we go, and that Colossus is not long for this world.
And even gets the natural expansion, can get the Robo as well. That's going to mean good night splash damage. And suddenly, you know, NightEnD finding himself in a very bad spot.
Yeah, probably good night for NightEnD as well at this point.
I have to say so.
And, well, SortOf cleaning off the last of the units, getting a few more hiders behind this. Of course, very gas-starved, but that won't matter at this point. Even getting a few extra Vipers just in case, and...
For good measure.
Yeah, for good measure, why not? He even saves these 2 Vipers, knowing when to get out, and... Oh, look at this, SortOf. He, doesn't want to, just finish this game, and wants to finish it in style.
Gonna go right up into that great Aspire. Still, though, making Roaches and Hydralisks, adding in the +3 attack. NightEnD trying to retake his 3rd base. We'll have to see if this is going to work out for him. He's got a fairly powerful army, but it's only Sulkers. He has no splash damage. He lost the Robo. Every single Colossus got nabbed by those Vipers. So, still, sort of on a superior economy. He's got a great army to deal with what NightEnD has. And with Blinding Clouds, you know, after the blink goes down, going to be very difficult here for NightEnD to really take a good fight.
It will be, and to the left-hand side we do now see NightEnD trying to get a few drone kills, but at this point, it's really nothing. And, well, NightEnD is blinking away, SortOf now on the chase. And as he's getting ready to spy, he's just looking to trade units again, but I feel he doesn't just need to... rather, he's just not going to trade units, he's going to even just kill NightEnD straight out here. And, well, SortOf, with a very beautiful game, got away with the Vipers. NightEnD, though, I think he missed out where it was going to happen.
You know, he had a good window, really, in both of these games that we've seen, to go and, like, kill like, especially in the first game, he did a great job, sort of tearing down the bases there of SortOf and stuff like that, but it sort of spiraled out of control. And now, though, SortOf's army is sort of sandwiched here, actually not too much on the right-hand side, still going to be able to kill the 3rd base, keep NightEnD out, and that's just going to be a good game well played. And SortOf will take this series 2-0.
Very quick series, I have to say.
Yeah, well done, Sweden.
Yeah, well done, Sweden. Yes, go Sweden! Can we do like the USA thing in Sweden? Do we have that?
I don't think we have one.
We don't have one?
No equivalent.
No, damn it. Otherwise, if it was USA, you could just like,
Are you like proud? Does this make you proud to be a Swede?
No. No, I mean, it's a bit.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I'm hoping for like Nani's return more than anything. But
the Dark Knight, man.
The Dark Knight rises again.
He is the Dark Knight of the StarCraft community.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, been one of the best foreigners
He has been.
He's moving up, you know, getting
Yeah.
whipped into shape.
I think Jinra was the best ever.
Made it into the rounds of
Or
four.
rather, best in terms of results.
Yeah, he made
I
it
wanted
into the rounds of four of
defend
the
that
GSL.
statement. Yes, the best in terms of single result. But that being said, we just saw SortOf beat NightEnD 2-0.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a new series coming up soon. But first off, we're going to have a quick break. But before then, of course, I'll give a quick shout out to Take TV right now, casting away in German on the other stream. And of course, if you do like the content, you can follow us at these links.
Yeah, they're right here. You can see these like nameplates.
Or
name
these,
tags,
what are we called again? They are
caster handles.
handles, I guess?
Handle names.
Name tags? I don't
Yeah,
know.
but you know, we've got this thing, like the bar around my, like where my hands are. And of course, you know, give us a follow on Esports 7 if you want to see more content, more casts and stuff like that coming out of us. But you know, like he said, we're going to have a 3-minute break, so we will be right back with you guys. Stay tuned.